Well, good morning, folks. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Your morning weather update here. We do this every morning between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. Go ahead and ask questions or give us a weather report if you have one. If you're in another part of the world and it's a little bit better than Michigan, let us know. Rub it in, so to speak. Good morning, Mark Tower from MLive over in Grand Rapids. And let's get to it. We got a couple of things to talk about. We got the snowstorm on the East Coast and how it's going to influence our weather the next couple of days. We have a second snowstorm. I'll show you that. I'll let you off the hook right now. It's going to miss us to the south, fortunately. But if you're traveling on the weekend through Ohio or Indiana, you're going to want to know about this, or toward the East Coast. And Alice Davison is watching from Houston. All right. Probably warmer there. We've had a raw north wind, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Is I do see finally an end in sight, at least for a couple of days, to the northeast wind that we've had. So let's get to it. And again, as always, ask questions if you have them. Good morning, Wendy Bolts and Tamala. Okay, so here's the snowstorm. You could see the circulation right here. And so if you're driving south into Ohio, you're going to run into patches of snow in Indiana. And then this is the large snow belt developing. Good morning, Russ from Pontiac. So Michigan, you see some returns on the radar, but the air is so dry. This is not reaching the ground. Maybe you get a flake along the border, but that is about it, okay? So here's a weather map, and you know, us meteorologists, it's, how do I say it? It's abstract data, so I apologize. A lot of folks tell me, what does that weather map mean? All I can do is teach you some along the way, because there's really no better way that we've found to show the weather map in conglomerate of what I'm showing you here. So you got pressure patterns, you've got temperatures, so you got 35 and 32, and you've got areas of precipitation. So it kind of encompasses everything, and that's what we have to look at. So this is this afternoon. Storm is out here. We still have a northeasterly wind, counterclockwise flow around the storm. So a northeasterly wind, and that is definitely a cold wind. In most of Michigan, now you see on the western half of the state, it's okay. All right, now Tamala says, how is Saturday looking heading back home to Michigan? Tamala, from where, I ask you, first off, okay? So we're getting in, this is this evening. And notice the pressure lines are starting to separate. Means the wind is dying some. Look at how windy it will be out on the East Coast. Flying to New York, Boston, Newark, Philly, you've got problems if you'll even make it there. Okay, and we go into tomorrow, and it's a dry day, and we'll get sunshine. And again, the pressure lines are fanned out some. So this is a northwest wind at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. Along with the spring sunshine, then we'll be in better shape for tomorrow. But we're still a northerly wind, okay? We get into Friday, and it's a light wind with not much going on. Florida, St. James Bay. Okay, Tamala, here's the answer for you. Here's the next system. This is Friday night, okay? And then this is Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. So you, depending on your timing, you are going to run into a mess for about, I would call it 100 miles north-south in southern Ohio. Your best bet would be to try to get through that early Saturday, which you probably can't do if you're leaving from Florida, and vice versa. Some folks are going to Florida, okay? Or this is Sunday. Wait until Sunday to come through there, and it will be quieter. Okay, now we're just starting to get into a southeasterly wind at that point, and I'll go as far as Monday for you. High pressure's moved over here. And for the first time in a long time, good morning, Steve Matthews. First time in a long time, I'm going to say a couple of weeks, we're going to finally have a southerly wind for a few days, and it will warm us up some. It won't be a great warm up, but we'll get back into the 50s. Here's the snowfall on this first storm. Okay, Saturday morning flying home. You're going to be just fine flying home from Florida to here and driving home. Here's the first snowstorm, heavy. Philadelphia, New Jersey, Boston, the big cities there. Now I want to show you what the second storm does to our south. And again, this is a heavy, heavy snow, maybe 6 to 12 inches, somewhere through Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky. So it's staying to our south, and everything's been pretty consistent on that. High temperatures today. You can see the influence of a northeast wind. Northeast wind keeps the northeast side, Alpena and Rogers City and Tawas, Saginaw Bay, the Thumb, really cold. Upper 20s and low 30s. It'll feel like downright winter. And then you get away from it. You get to Mount Pleasant and it gets a little better, 40. You get away from it at Flint, 37, Ann Arbor, Detroit, low 40s. You get to the west side of the state and you get a couple more degrees, 42-ish. North is going to be cold. Traverse City again, wind off the water, 34. Heard from my buddy Ted yesterday. He said it was just almost unbearable with 25 degrees and stiff north winds, and the UP is in winter. So that is for today. And I'm going to leave you with one last thing. Tigers home opener. All right, next Thursday. Let's take a look, just an early look at what it might be like. I think it's not going to be too terrible. These are the projected high temperatures forecast for next Thursday, and you're looking at low to mid 50s. I think you can plan on at least 48 to 50. Might get lucky and be 53 to 55, but right now it looks better than it could be for March 29th. Amy says next week is our spring break. Is going to be nice. It's going to be better next week. Temperatures will be 45 to 55 next week with no real significant weather makers. So there you have it. Another day of a raw northeast wind across all of Michigan. So it's on the colder side. Once again, bundle up. That wind will die for tomorrow and for Friday, and things get a little bit better. The wind comes back a touch on the weekend as that storm misses us to the south. And then finally, by next Monday, we'll switch to a southerly wind for a couple of days, and you're going to see an improvement. Jeff wants to know, are we going to kick the blocking high over Maine? Not kick the overall pattern out just yet, but we're going to see it let up for several days, and when it comes back about 7 days from now, it won't be as strong. So we are making a break to better weather next week. Not a big break. We're going from things we don't like if we want spring to a teaser of spring in the 40s and low 50s next week. There you have it, folks. Hope you have a great Wednesday already. Wow. Going fast, isn't it? And I'm going to sign off now. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Have a great day.